The objective is to solve quadratics by doing the completing the square method. What we're trying to do is we're trying to make this quadratic into a perfect square. And I'm going to show you a process to do that. What you're going to do, step one, is identify the middle term. In this case, it's 22. You're going to divide by 2. That gives you 11. And then step 2 is to square it. And you have 121. So at the end, what you have is x squared plus 22x plus 11. So this process is called completing the square. That is the process. You get the middle term divided by 2, square it, and then you get 121. Remember the factors of 11? 121, I'm sorry, 121. It's x squared plus 22x plus 121. Remember 121 is 11 squared. We have x squared, that's x, that's 11, and that's squared. And to check if it's a perfect square, x times 11, x times 11 times 2, that gives you 22x. Okay, so how is this going to help us to solve a quadratic? Well, I'm going to show you. So we're going to complete the square. So the question is, how do you do this? It works fine when you have your leading coefficient is 1. And that's basically what you want to do. You have 2x squared minus 8x minus 24 equals 0. So you first check, is there a number that we can factor? And there is, it's 2. So we're going to factor 2. So we have x squared minus 8x minus 4x minus 12 is equal to 0. And of course, you divide both sides by 2. And you notice the 0, it's going to cancel. So you're left with x squared minus 4x minus 12 equals 0. Obviously, minus 12 is not going to complete the square. So what you want to do is you just want to work with this side of the equation. So what does that mean for the negative 12? Well, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to add 12 to both sides. So you have x squared minus 4x equals 12. Why do you do that? Because that 12 we don't need, and that's not going to complete the square. Now, to complete the square, we're going to select the middle coefficient, just like we did there. So the middle coefficient, we're going to say b equals, and I'm going to say negative 4. And what you have to do, you have to get negative 4 divided by 2, which gives you negative 2. You have to square it. That gives you 4. Okay, so what you have is x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 12. And since you want to balance this equation, if you're adding 4 to the right side, then you have to add 4. If you're adding 4 to the left side, you have to add 4 to the right side. X squared minus 4x plus 4, that's a perfect square. So it's x minus 2 squared equals 16. Remember, this is x minus 2 times x minus 2, and then 12 plus 4 is 16. So now that we have x minus 2 squared, we just have to get the square root of both sides, and you have x minus 2 is equal to positive and negative 4. Remember, there's always going to be two numbers here, positive or negative 4. So what is x going to equal to? Positive negative 4 plus 2. So what answer do you have? X can equal 6 or x can equal negative 2. Find the value of c that makes the trinomial a perfect square. Then write the trinomial as a perfect square. So to find c, you're going to have to get b. In this case, it's negative 10. So b is equal to negative 10. So you got to get negative 10 divided by 2, which is negative 5. And then what you have to do is square it, and you get 25. So what you have is you have x squared minus 10x plus 25. And we do know that x minus 5 times x minus 5 will give you x squared minus 10x plus 25. So what do you end up having? X minus 5 raised to the second power. So we've completed the square. For number 2, we have x squared plus 60x plus c. So we're going to find c. So how do you find c? Well, c is going to be b 60 divided by 2. And remember that we have to square it. So 60 divided by 2 is 30 squared, which gives you 900. So you have x squared plus 60x plus 900. So remember, you have x plus 30 times x plus 30. So you have x plus 30 squared. The next one is number 3, so we're going to find c. And I'm going to show you the process to find c. So to find c, it's going to be negative 3 divided by 2, and that's going to be squared. Remember that negative 3 divided by 2 is negative 1.5 squared. So what is c going to be? Negative 1.5 squared is going to be 2.25, I think. So we have 1.5 squared, 2.25. So this is your quadratic, x squared minus 3x plus 2.25. So what are the factors? X minus 1.5 times x minus 1.5. So it's x minus 1.5 squared. So we're going to solve each equation by completing the square. We have y squared minus 4y plus c, because we're trying to complete the square, equals, the negative 5 is going to go to the right, so that's 5. You see the c here? Well, if you add c to the left, you have to add c to the right. So the question is, how do you find c? It's actually negative 4 divided by 2 squared. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2 squared, which gives you 4. So what do you have? You have y squared minus 4y plus 4 equals 5 plus 4. So this is the same as saying y minus 2 times y minus 2 equals 5 plus 4 gives you 9. This is identical. So you have y minus 2 squared equals 9. So now we're going to find the square root of both sides. And remember, you're going to have y minus 2 is equal to plus or minus. Whatever comes out of here was 3. You add 2 to both sides. So y equals plus or minus 3 plus 2. So what are the two answers? 3 plus 2 is 5. Negative 3 plus 2, negative 1. Number 5, we have x squared minus 8x plus we're going to say C is equal to negative 65, has to go to the right, but you're going to have to add C. Now the question is, how do you find C? It's negative 8 divided by 2 and then squared, which gives you negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4 squared, which gives you 16. So you have x squared minus 8x plus 16. That's going to complete the square. But on the right side, remember you have 65 there plus 16. So what are you going to have? You're going to have x minus 4 times x minus 4 is equal to 65 plus 16. 5 plus 6 is 11. So it's 81. So you have x minus 4 squared, since they're identical. Get the square root. So you have x minus 4 equals plus or minus. The square root of 81 is 9. You're going to add 4 to both sides. So x equals plus or minus 9 plus 4. So x equals 9 plus 4 is 13. Negative 9 plus 4 gives you negative 5.